Alright guys, welcome back to Elden Ring. In the last episode, we missed an item, so we were in this forge last time, but before you drop down, which is on the right here, you need to turn around and do a 180. I just flat out missed this talisman. This is a talisman that will increase your damage for your Smith's Script weapons. Once you have that, we're just going to exit. I'm going to do a quick edit here. We're going to be back at the church here. This is where we got the blue dew talisman. Church right here. We missed a fist weapon, which we want to get. And it's very close by. Just go over here. You'll also get some armor. Now back to Morth Ruins. Now we're going to go open up a new area on the map called the Rauh Base. This base area contains many good items, including 2 fist weapons, which we're going to get, in addition to another ancient dragon smithing stone and a very useful talisman. We've been this way before when we were picking up a scatty dew fragment right here, but we're going to continue through this cave, but be very careful when you enter the cave, because near the back of it there is a group of enemies that will quickly overwhelm you when you stop by just to get the items. Right here. Don't underestimate these guys. That's why I'm using Unseen Form, but unfortunately it just wore off. We'll quickly get out of there. But you can easily die right there. We're just going to continue to use Unseen Form as we go through here. I just usually stick to the left to avoid all of the unpleasantries. Don't fall for the cheese in the middle there. There's some bait there. Don't fall for it. It's just a smithing stone 3. It's not worth it. Just stick to the left. Just down here is Rauh Base. There are some golems patrolling this area, and we're going to deal with them accordingly, but if you want to, you can go straight to the forge, which we're going to go to later, directly behind us. We're going to get our fist weapons and our talisman first. We need fire, because this next mini-boss is weak to fire, and we're also going to use the blood-sucking crack tier. Again, we're doing our Manus build here with the dumpling head here. You'll want the talisman, and you'll want the maddening hand, all when you proc Manus on yourself. I recommend going Unseen Form here, as the golems have amazing sight for some reason, and they can see you coming from a mile away. But with Unseen Form, they don't stand a chance to see you, which gives you the upper hand, of course. This is the route I always take when dealing with these golems. You'll want a buff, but out of sight. So right here is a perfect area right here. We'll do the usual stuff. First we're going to cast Golden Vow, Al-Shabiri. And then you want to cast Unseen Form again, so you don't aggro the other golem that's nearby. But by the time you kill the first golem, the other golem is going to see you, but by that time you'll be riding towards him. For some reason he doesn't even notice you here when you're making noise. We're just going to go ham on his legs, of course. Now, if he falls like this awkwardly, you're not going to be able to get the crit, but sometimes going for the crit is a hindrance to you, while you can just pile on more damage. I've learned that throughout playing this game. Now we're just going to head straight forward to this golem. This one's very tanky. It's going to take quite a few hits to take this one down. And our buff is already worn out for our madness. That's okay, we're just going to keep pounding on him. Even with the critical attack, he's still not quite dead. By far the most tankiest golem we've ever seen. Alright, he's dead now. Now on to our first mini-boss. This is going to net us the bear claws. The red bear claws. This guy is extremely easy. In fact, with our build, you're going to kill him with taking no damage, and then it's going to be a few button presses. Very simple. But we have to trigger this lift for us right here. This spring. But we need the whip. We need the Giant's Red Braid to make this easy. We're going to make a few other changes with our talismans here. We want fire. And why not throw on the multi-hit talisman here? Or no, the green turtle talisman for stamina. Stamina is going to be more important, actually. The quicker you can get your stamina back, the more likely you're not going to get attacked. Once you trigger the spring, go up to this hidden mausoleum up here. This is where you fight your mini-boss NPCs, all these mausoleums. And when we get to the top here, we're going to plant a waypoint because we don't want to go through the golems again, and there's a grace nearby. However, we are going to be on the clock because we drink the tear, which is going to suck our health dry. But if you put one right here, you'll remember where the spring is to get safely down there. You'd be surprised how many times you get lost trying to find that exact point where you drop off. Right here is the mausoleum. Make sure you have the maddening hand in your left hand before proccing the madness on yourself. Blessing of the Erd Tree first. Then Golden Vow and Hal Shabiri, and then we're going to max out our madness this time. We'll drink the tear. And all you have to do to kill this guy is just run up on him and use the flame dance 3 times. That's it. And he cannot do anything about it. If you connect with the first one, just run up to him and hit him with another one. It's going to be over before it even started. The stamina is the main thing. If you can just keep your stamina to where you can actually use the whip, then you're golden. That's all you need right there. Game over. Easy peasy. Unfortunately, I didn't have any gold pickle foulfoot, so we're going to have to just go with the golden scarab this time. And now we have the claws that we were after. Red bear's claws. Next thing we're going to be going after is a talisman called the two-handed talisman. You can actually combine this with other talismans like the Renala's cameo, and you can absolutely annihilate enemies. The Elden Ring is definitely the easiest of all the Souls games because of all of the options they give you to absolutely just trivialize the game. And I say, why not? We are still on the clock here. We're looking for, or there's going to be a map fragment right here. And then you want to find the grace as soon as possible. And here it is up here. It's a little tricky to get up to where we need to get. I don't know if there's an alternate path. This is really the only way I know to get this talisman. We're going to sit at the grace to eliminate the health drain here. Bloodsucking Cracked Tear takes a whopping 3 minutes to get rid of. It's a blessing and a curse. Buff lasts a long time, but you better be able to sustain your health, which is why we're investing in Vigor a lot now. I recommend just using the Giant's Red Braid to kill the enemies here. They're actually very surprisingly strong for them just to be a regular enemy. You'll want to clear out the area before you try to make your jumps. This isn't exactly the spot yet. I just like clearing all of them out. This is the spot right here. You need to get up here. Failed there. Get up here. Gingerly. Make a leap over here. You're good to go. There is going to be a horned warrior up here, but I just run past him. There's no sense in fighting him. I don't know if he drops anything specific, but if he does, it's unbeknownst to me. So we're just going to run up to these stairs and wait for him to pass. And I don't have any sound talisman on, so we're just going to go crouch mode. Get behind him and just get our talisman and get out of here. Two-handed talisman. Now we're going back to the original grace that we came from. And we're going to go to the next forge area. Just right here. You'll want to keep a low profile on your way to the base because there are quite a few misbegottens here and you just don't want to deal with them. And there's one of those troll-like enemies too that you can, I think they're called fiends. But you'll definitely want the heavy iron balls and you'll want the glintstone kris. For talismans, anything that does heavy damage, so the charged heavies, we'll need the axe talisman. We're going to throw on the dagger talisman just in case we get backstabs. And to finish it off, we'll use the two-handed talisman. Actually, I think I just wasted a slot with the two-handed talisman because I'm technically using the iron balls in two hands, so I don't think this is going to work as best as I thought. So maybe put something else in that other talisman slot. On the approach here, there is a scarab here you want to get. Now you can just use the glintstone kris to get in from distance, and the misbegotten won't do anything. Especially if you have unseen form on, they won't do anything. They'll investigate the area, but by that time you're out of there. You'll want to approach from this side. There's another scarab hanging about. You want to get this one for a somber, I believe it's a 9 or 8, I can't remember. It is a 9. Now we're just going to loop around and enter the forge. These forges are so easy and they net such good rewards. Every time you enter one, you'll get maybe 1 or 2 ancient dragon smithing stones. And in this case, I believe we're getting 2 ancient dragon smithing stones from this forge area. They're generally straightforward and linear. You might have a few branching paths, but it really is almost impossible to get lost in these things, in my opinion. Our first problem is a golem right here to the left, and we'll be farming these guys for our next fist weapon, but I'll do that off camera. This one will always just collapse right there, so just use that as an opportunity to get behind him. Kind of messed this one up, but Usually it only takes a few hits to take him out. Here's your first Smith script weapon of the area, called the Smith script axe. The hammer is also nearby. And it also, what's really cool in this area is you'll get the Captain America shield, the one you can actually throw. So if you're doing a Captain America build, you'll definitely want this. Here's the hammer. And that just leaves the shield. We'll get that later. Next item, though, is an ancient dragon smithing stone. With this guarded by 2 golems. So we're going to go unseen form here. We're going to be very strategic here because we don't want to deal with 2 of them at the same time. We'll jump right down here and you'll wait. We're just going to go into crouch mode. And we're going to wait for this one that's coming towards us. Turn him around. Once he turns around, we can follow him. But we're going to cast unseen form again. But stay crouched unless you have the Crepus Vial on. We are going to take this one out, though. But be wary, the other one will be coming at you. So get out of here. Get the Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone and just jump down here. You don't have to deal with him if you don't want to. Once we jump across here, we're going to go down here first to get some stones. And now we're going to get the aforementioned Captain America shield. I recommend going unseen form here. Take out the blob first. Well, I didn't hear. It's better to take the blob out because he'll come after you. This is the first golem you want to take out, though. That's the correct order to do it in. So you can take them out in one little fell swoop. Be careful for the blob falling down. It's a trap, always. And there's your Captain America shield, the Smith script shield. There's the golem right there doing his golem fist at you. That's the weapon that we're going to farm for later. You could use a stomp here if you wanted to, but or a ground slam. There's no sense in it. Just keep going. Here's where I like to take out the fire slug just for kicks. You will have to come back there though. Better to fight one enemy than 2. You'll want to pull this lever. And this will change the orientation of this large object here where you can climb up. First we need to deal with the golem before we can get to it. There is a gap here you'll want to jump over. Or actually we didn't have to fight the golem. I was wrong. It's been a long time since I made this video, guys, so you have to bear with me. I'm not even sure what the golem was guarding. The main thing here is the prize you get at the end of the forge, which is the other ancient dragon smithing stone. and you'll get a Golem Smith Ash. Spirit Ash. Now, I've already farmed for it, but here you go. In about 20 minutes, I got the Golem Fist. Just use your farming setup and kill all the golems in the area, and eventually, you'll get the Golem Fist. We may or may not use it in our build. I usually never know if I'm going to use a fist weapon or not. I'm just trying to stick to the main theme of this, which was the fist whips and crossbows. I did branch out a little bit with some other things, but for the most part, I want to stay true to it. So I want to get every fist weapon. And this is just yet another one. We are going to embark on a side quest in this episode, which is very beneficial to us because it gives us another katana, which is a really cool katana, or you can get a very special Spirit Ash, which has 2 Spirit Ashes. You can combine 2 pretty strong Spirit Ashes together. I chose the katana for this, but you can't get them both, so you have to make a choice. You'll also get a few talismans along the way as well. But holy is what we want right now. We're going to kill a dragon. The blood-sucking cracked tear and the holy tear will be sufficient. The side quest in question is Ymir and Jola'n's questline. In addition to the katana that we're going to get, if you decide to go with the katana, we're also going to get her sister's claws. We'll have to fight her sister as well, and upon her defeat, we will relieve her of her claws. There's a nice Ash of War that it's called Scattershot, with nice mid-range weaponry. So what this side quest entails is basically we're going to be ringing 3 bells that are located throughout these ruins, these finger ruins. Once we've rang all 3 of them, then we can fight the main boss. And of course, the NPCs associated with the questline. And in doing this, we're going to be unlocking a new area, the Cerulean Coast. A lot of good things in the Cerulean Coast. One thing in particular is infinite sleep abilities. In addition to, like, the sword that we already have, St. Trina's sword, we can have infinite sleep pots, but an upgraded version. That's right, no longer will you have to farm for Trina's lilies, because now we'll have an upgraded source of sleep pots called the Eternal Sleep Pot, and the lilies for these pots are infinite. You can farm them infinitely and easily. It takes a little while, but there is a nice path to go through. So going to the DLC, it really does benefit you in a lot of ways. As it usually does for From Software games like the Dark Souls series. In Dark Souls 2, you can go in the DLC really early and get a lot of upgrade materials like we did in my Dark Souls videos, Dark Souls 2 videos. But yeah, they made it a little difficult to get in the DLC here, but still, you can get so much good stuff in this DLC. And they're not that hard to get, as you can see. But here's the Cathedral. This is where we are going to fight a couple of NPCs later. And we're going to initiate our questline for Ymir and Jola'n. Jola'n is stuck up and will not speak to you until you earn the trust of Ymir. Once you earn Ymir's trust, then she'll start talking to you. You'll need to make sure to exhaust all of Ymir's dialogue every time you visit him.
Well, I am. It is a inland seeing that allow me to.
You'll get a necklace and a map.
It is said that
You're not going to need the map because I'm going to show you exactly where to go.
those who are not mistaken, you are a fight. Some have given you I know for power.
You can buy sorceries from this guy if you want. But you'll need to completely exhaust all of his dialogue. Because if you don't, certain things will not happen. This is Jola'n over here, dressed in this Sauron type armor.
kindness is a gift. You will sorely be gone. There is nothing.
Like I said, she's pretty stuck up. Now, we need to unlock a new area, the Cerulean Coast. To the south. We're going to go to the Elak River Cave. Now, there's some nice items that we didn't get the first time we went through this area when we went to get the Turtle Talisman. But we'll get it later. Right now, we're just focused on this side quest. You want to make your way down this waterfall area. There are some annoying enemies that will chase you to the ends of the earth, so I like to use unseen form when it comes to passing them. Cookbook right here. There is a grace at the base of this waterfall. We need to hit. There's also some more forger cookbooks we'll get along the way. One on the left side over here. Once we start traveling in that direction. And here's our grace. And make our way to the left side. Be wary, there is a furnace golem down here. We are not going to fight him right now. But he is guarding the entrance to the Cerulean Coast. But stick to the left. You want to meet your buddy for another forger cookbook. Again, do not attack these friendlies, or you'll incur the wrath of more. Forger Cookbook 3. Now, I do believe there is a lightning perfume bottle around here somewhere, but I couldn't find it when I was looking around. I'll find it later. Main goal is to get to the Cerulean Coast, though. I'm going to fight a dragon as soon as we get there. Here's the Furnace Golem. We're just going to avoid him. Even if you aggro him, you could still just get to the Grace. The Grace isn't far from here. Cerulean Coast. We have made it. First thing you want to do is hit the Grace, and we're going to kill a dragon real quick. But there are other items in this area that are very good. The cookbooks that will allow us to craft eternal sleep pots is one of our main goals in this area, in addition to ringing the first bell for our side quest. We're going to put on the dumpling head for some more damage with the madness, because we're going to proc madness on ourselves. You're going to need the Age 1's exaltation. Now that we have the two-handed talisman, we're going to make use of that as well. But because we're going to be using the blood-sucking cracked here, we're going to have to use Blessing of the Erd Tree first, just to mitigate just a little bit of the health drain. We put Sacred Blade on our Uchi Katana plus 24. Once you get about right here, you start buffing because you don't want to get too close where the dragon is going to spawn here. Golden Vow, Howl of Shiburi, and we're going to need to force proc Madness, so we're going to have to keep casting something. But I always like to use the quickest way here, which is the Frenzy. Sometimes I can get it to proc the first time. Now we're on the clock, we need to hurry. We're not going to drink our physics flask just yet until the dragon spawns, though. And here we go. All we need to do is cast our Sacred Blade a few times and it'll die. These dragons are so incredibly weak to holy damage, it's not even funny. And with our buffs, it's just not going to take long at all. And he's dead. Work smarter, not harder. And we'll get our Dragon Heart and the Ancient Somber Dragon Smithing Stone. We're going to get rid of the blood-sucking cracked tear effects by just warping back to the original race that we started from here. Now, we're going to make our way towards the first bell we have to ring. Along the way, we're going to face a troll-like enemy that's going to be throwing sleep pots at us. If we kill this enemy, we will get another hefty cracked pot. But along the way, we're also going to get our cookbook that we need for crafting the Eternal Sleep Pots, and we'll be getting some really high-level grave warts. I think it's even going to be a great one in here somewhere. Just stick to the far left. You'll come up to a map soon. We'll be coming back to this area in the next episode to do another side quest. Another Miquella's Cross here, which means you'll get another Scadu Tree Fragment. Although we've gotten pretty much to the soft cap almost, pretty much. For our blessings. Now, along your travels, you might notice some purple lilies along the way. These will respawn in most locations. I think there's only one location where they don't respawn, but I have tested this, and I have continuously farmed them, so I know it's a permanent thing. We'll make our way over here first. And you'll start to notice you'll start getting these high-level grave gloveworts. You want to jump over here to get the recipe for the Eternal Sleep Pots. But start looking on the ground for the purple lilies. You'll want to get those. A great glovewort. That's a good one right there. We're going to use that to max out our Rotten Stray later. You don't have to fight the Finger Creepers if you don't want to. I usually don't. Still want to stick to the far left. Now, be wary. You'll want to use stealth coming up here when you get to the Finger Ruins, because the Lampers, they are extremely dangerous. They will kill you so fast. What they do is they shoot out a beam that will incapacitate you, and then they kind of teleport next to you, and then they'll start sucking you dry. Not fun to deal with these enemies. They are very weak to holy damage, though. You can one-shot them with Sacred Blade. Probably not even buffing it. But here are the Finger Ruins. Just going to hit the Grace here. And we want to keep a low profile here. We do not want to aggro these Lampers. They look like humanoid snakes or something. But if you stick to this path, you pretty much will not aggro them. And we're using Unseen Form. I highly suggest Unseen Form here. But they're pretty much going to be littering the path that's most direct to the bell. So we're going to take a little alternate path over here, using these little trenches as cover as well. We'll ring our first bell, and we'll get a talisman for every bell we ring. Well, I'm not sure, except for the third one. You'll get a talisman for the first 2 you ring. What is it with From Software and ringing bells? They must have a, just like the ladder fetish, I think they have a bell fetish as well. Anyway, back to the cathedral we go, and we need to talk to Ymir now that we've rang the first bell. He's going to give us another map to another location. He's going to give you a talisman as well, the beloved Stardust. Exhaust every bit of dialogue he has for you. We're just going to buy all his sorceries now while we are here. Now that we have gained the trust of Ymir, Jola'n will take notice. We can talk to her now.
How did you count Ymir? Then I see, and therefore I am. Don't get the wrong. We are neither. I am merely. Enough of you.
Just exhaust all of her dialogue, and let's go get to the second bell. Now, we need to go back to Bonnie Village for this. I could have got this earlier, but we have to get a gesture before we can move forward. But it's very close by. Just stick to the left here. I'm going to hop over here, and it's pretty much directly in front of us. Look for a gnarled-like tree. And here is your gesture. Oh, Mother. Go ahead and assign it. You'll need it immediately. Now we're going back to where we fought Commander Gaius at the back door of the Shadow Keep. This is where we have the scattered tree fragment right here. But now we're going to use the Oh Mother gesture right here. This will open up a new path. There are 2 sentinels here, tree sentinels. We're going to take care of both of them very easily. Lightning is what they're weak to, but I have found that the lightning ram is pretty much the easiest way to deal with these tree sentinels. Especially with all of our buffs active, they won't last long at all. We're going to redo our setup, though. Let's go ahead and put in our flask. Take away Holy, we're going to put Lightning. And we're going to use the Thorny Crack tier. I'm going to reassign our Lightning Uchi Katana with Lightning and the Lightning Ram. For talismans, of course we're going to use the Black Dumpling. But for talismans, Lightning, Two-Handed, and the Winged Sword Insignia, this will stack with the Thorny Crack tier. Now, there's a little trick here you can do. You don't have to fight him initially. We're just going to get him to spawn. And then we're going to despawn him. And then we're going to sneak up behind him and use Lightning Ram, and he pretty much spawn kill him before he can do anything. He'll come out initially like this, but just ignore him, come up here. And get in this corner right here until the bar disappears. And we're going to sneak up on him. He will respawn. We're going to make our way down here. This has to be pretty precise, though. You can aggro him inadvertently. What I like to do is just get him to spawn. Once I see him come out, then I'll run back to safety. He comes out aggressively, making you think he's going to attack, but he's not going to. He's just on patrol. And there's another one down there, as you can see. There he goes. See, he looks like he's about to come at you, but he's not going to. Turns around, so now we're just going to buff. Golden Vow, Howler Shabiri. Just go ahead and proc your madness. Make sure you have the maddening hand when you proc madness, because you'll lose damage if you don't. Here we go. Sneak up on him from behind and just go to town. Stay locked on and just don't stop rolling. He'll be dead before he even knows what's going on. This is my favorite way to take out tree sentinels. I just think it's the easiest. Before we take on the second tree sentinel, let's go ahead and go up to the Shaman Village here. We'll be coming back here later. Well, you would if you wanted the increased spirit ashes with Jolaan's sister. We're not going to be doing that part of it, so we're just getting the katana, so we don't have to worry about doing it. So we're going to go ahead and go through the path now, because we want the bell bearing. This will increase our damage with our new dart cannon, because we'll be able to use the bolts that are specifically designed for it. Take this path down here. What we're doing is we're getting back into that area where we got the dart cannon. The Rauh dart cannon. If you want the spirit ashes and not the katana, you'll definitely need to come here anyway, because you'll get her spirit ashes, Jolaan's spirit ashes, and you'll combine them with her sister's ashes once you've completed the quest. And I'll show you where it is right here, because once you drop out here, there's the puppet right in front of us. This is her sister. You'll just combine Jolaan's spirit ashes with hers. But because we're not doing that, we're just going to drop down and get our prize, the bell bearing that we wanted. And we're just going to warp back. Now we're going to take care of the second tree sentinel. This one has a bit more life, I guess. And I couldn't kill him with the original setup the way I liked, so I needed more stamina. I kept running out of stamina, so we're going to buff our stamina a little bit. And make our way to the left side here. I really have not leveled stamina this entire playthrough, really. But that's going to change soon. We're going to have so many runes that we're just going to splurge on something we want. And stamina is going to be probably what we're going to use it on. You don't want the tree sentinel to see us here. You don't want him to see you. Stay behind cover. And we'll start buffing a little bit. You just want to get him when he turns around, starts going the other direction. Again, we're just going to sneak up on him and do the deed again. Sonic the Hedgehog for the win here. You see him using a lot of stamina here. I increased my stamina by a lot. And he's dead. Really is a fun way to take him out. Now we're going to the second bell. You do not want to engage the enemies here. They are very dangerous. And they will pretty much teleport to you. They work in tandem with each other pretty much. They'll stun you, immobilize you, and then the second friend will come up behind or whatever while you're incapacitated and just suck the life out of you. And they do a lot of damage. They're just a very annoying enemy to deal with. And I figured it's just better to just not let them see you in the first place. But if you want to fight them, holy damage is what you're going to want. I didn't have any intentions in fighting them, but I went ahead and changed my tier anyway. This is more of a precaution than anything. Because they are so insanely weak to holy damage. It's the only thing you're going to want to use. I was thinking about using Concealing Veil here, but it's not necessary. You just want to keep it as low as a profile as you possibly can going through this area. There'll be some finger creepers along the way as well, but you don't have to engage with them either. We'll make our way to the next Grace, which is nearby. There are the finger creepers, and there is the Grace. We just want to hit this Grace for safety. I find the best way is to use Unseen Form and just stick to the far right. Just stay out of their path, out of their line of sight. Because the Lempers, they're very aggressive. They'll start firing from very far away. And unless you're behind complete cover, you will get hit. Now is when you're going to start getting fired upon. If you don't have Unseen Form active, you're not keeping a low profile, they're going to start firing at you. You'll see them walking around. There's some right there. I think we're going to kill this one. Just to give you an example of how weak they are to holy. That's our path right there. We want to go straight ahead. But we still want to make sure we don't have any line of sight on us right now. Our next victim, I believe. I'm just using Concealing Veil just for safety here. They have amazing sight. They can see from so far away. But this is a pretty good path to take to avoid the unpleasantries. Here's our second bell. you'll get another talisman. Both talismans are for your flasks, increasing the amount you regain. The first one was for health, this one's for FP. Now back to the cathedral again. This time we're going to have to exhaust every dialogue that every NPC has here before we can move on to the next step. But we need to change our talisman setup and everything because fire is what we want now for the next NPC fight. We're going to use the same strategy that we used for the red bear. And that is the Giant's Red Braid Flame Dance. We're also going to need the pulley crossbow and rock bolts and bleed bolts. We're going to have to craft some more rock bolts though. Initially we want fire, but then we're going to switch to our ranged build for the boss fight. And that's looking good. Now, let's go ahead and exhaust all the dialogue. And we'll have to sit at the grace to get him to leave the throne. I'm going to go ahead and talk to Jola'n first.
I told you, I've no interest. I must account Ymir perhaps Ymir is in our eye. Our meeting, we know that we can. We will never. I have spoken. Pay me no more. I'll serve it. Now.
Make sure to exhaust everything he's got to say.
I heard him. See the star dressed to show on the contract now. May you. Oh, yes, is he?
Ask about glintstone sorcery. Exhaust all of that. Ask about Jola'n.
I fear the conceit is there no
The state of the world. You might have to do it twice. The state of the world twice. Just everything until you have no dialogue options left.
May you join the glimmer.
Now we can sit at the grace and he'll leave his throne. Once you unlock the throne entrance, the secret entrance here, you need to get ready for the NPC fight with Jola'n's sister. We'll get a nice pair of claws from defeating her. Very cool set of claws. Can't go too far forward without spawning her, so we're just going to go ahead and start buffing pretty soon here. We don't need to completely buff with our Madness build here. It's not going to take much to take her out. Just one Hellish Berry is good enough. And just do Flame Dance as soon as she spawns, and she's pretty much cooked. Same strategy we used before for the red bear. And it's over. Claws of Night. Amazing weapon. Now we need to ring the third bell and switch our builds for the boss fight. The best thing for this boss is to stay away from it, in my opinion. I like to rot it first, then bleed it. And we're going to use Latenna as a decoy. And she'll do a lot of damage too. You do not want to get close to this boss for a couple of reasons. The first reason is the AoE attacks that this boss has is insanely powerful and the range is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous with this range. So I like to stay as far away as possible for the whole fight, really. She'll close the distance quite a bit, But you'll just need to keep running away. This is what I like to go with. Bleed and Rot Exaltations here. Arrow Sting Talisman upgrade and the multi-hit Talisman here. Spawn in Lieutenant. And we're going to buff initially here. Not sure if it gives her more powerful bolts or whatever, but we're going to give her Terra Magica as well. And we're going to start rotting this boss. You'll just have to get used to the attack patterns. There's not many attacks this boss has, but they can close the distance very quickly, as you can see. And I am going to take one hit from this boss. I just mistimed my jump here. If they hit the ground like this, just look for where it's not glowing in the water, and you'll be fine. Just keep rotting the boss. Once it starts to rot, then just switch to your blood bolts. Start unloading with that. But you do want to stay far away. You do not want to get close to this boss. The AoE is just insanely... The range is unbelievable. Just run. You're going to have to be always almost to the back of the arena to avoid getting hit by that. Once the orbs come from the ground, just stay away from them. They'll explode. Just going to keep using the blood bolts. Here's where I make a mistake, I believe. Again, just look for a gap where there's just no glowy water. Stay away from the glowy water and you're fine. Really is a pretty easy boss, to be fair. As long as you stay away from it. It's really good for ranged builds, as you can see. And that's it. I don't think I had any gold pickle foulfoot, so I couldn't get the maximum out of it. Our work is not quite done yet. We got to kill a couple of NPCs now. Jola'n and Ymir. They have to die. Before we do that, though, we're going to switch our build a little bit. The best way I've found to kill these enemies is to just tank it. Tank it with your Magma Whip Candlestick. To me, this is the best way to do it. The most just painless, get it over with type way. Stamina. We need a lot of stamina. A buff with Madness again. But with this time, we're going to buff our Magma Whip Candlestick even further with the Dread Exaltation and Fire. Of course, the Dumpling Head again. First on our list is Jola'n. As soon as you approach the throne and interact with it, she's coming. You can dictate when she spawns. This is a good thing, because you can already be buffed and ready to go. She's going to spawn behind you. So all you have to do is just do a 180 and get ready to use your Magma Whip Candlestick. Or actually, we're going to use the Giant's Rib Raid for this, and then we're going to use the Magma Whip Candlestick for Ymir. Same as her sister. Just don't let her get up. That's it. Now switch to the Magma Whip Candlestick. We're going to rebuff again.
Grant me a mother's strength. I will be the true mother.
You're going to take hits here, but it's okay. Just go to town with your Sea of Magma, and it'll be over before it starts. We're tanking this entire fight. We don't care what in front of us. And it's done. We only took one little hit. Game over.
Your mother.
We still aren't quite finished, though. We need to get a specific iris to give to Jola'n. You can do the Iris of Grace or the one we're about to do. We're not doing the Grace version because we don't want the ashes. We want the katana, so we're going to go back to the Fort of Reprimand and kill a specific omen to get the item we need. Exhaust her dialogue. She'll say she cannot see anything. But back to the Fort of Reprimand. The omen in question is down here. We've been here before. We went down here to collect a high-level runes when we first arrived here. We didn't fight this enemy before, but now we will. Pretty much do a sneak attack around the corner. Make it easy. Now back to Jola'n to get our katana.
The night I need no light anywhere at all. This is the night I know. Our night.
We get the Sword of Night. Very fun weapon to use. Give up the bell bearings. Do Twin Maiden Husks. We're especially interested in the one that gives us the increased damage with our bolts for our new jar cannon. These bolts, the Raboth's great bolts. These are going to serve us well in the future. All right, that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.